All right, welcome back to Slasher and the Final Girls. We're going to go through some of our favorite, maybe not so favorite horror show movies that we watched during the month of January and where you can find them all. So to start it off, what are some of the best things y'all watched this month? And where did you find them? Let's start with Austin.
Best things or just because I'll rewatch horror movies just to have them in the background, like while I'm just on my phone or whatever, because I just want to have something playing on the TV for entertainment purposes. So I could watch or not watch Final Destinations in the background, or if you've ever seen Cube,
Yes.
that's a really good one. I've seen all three of them. Those are entertaining. Let's see, what did I watch? I watched the Hellraisers for the first time, which is good because I was able to watch the new one too. And actually understand a lot of references. So if you watch the remake or any references at all, because you watch 2 and 3 of the Hellraisers series, you'll get a lot of the references that were in the remake that they don't explain in the remake at all. But if you watch 1, 2, and 3 of the originals, you just get a ton of information. It's that's why Leviathan and the cube changes shapes and all that stuff is actually explained in those first 3 movies. But you don't need to watch the 6 others from the originals. Let's be real.
I think I've only seen 1 and 2.
That's pretty good. You can see 3, but it's not nearly as much of a requirement as 1 and 2 to explain the story and understand what the references in the remake.
What was your favorite one that you watched?
Of the Hellraisers?
Yeah, of the Hellraisers.
I like the remake because it's just a higher quality of video as well. It's just not all grainy. I thought 3 was really ridiculous. Not nearly as ridiculous as 4, but I like that 1 and 2. What was that?
You didn't like Hellraiser in Space?
No. Hellraiser in Space was so convoluted, and you had to jump through 3 different timelines.
Oh, it was brutal.
No, not 3 different timelines. 3 different eras of a single timeline. Which was just annoying. Because the descendants are the same actors as their great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. So it's what are they wearing? That's the only difference to know what timeline, what time period you're supposed to be in. It's very annoying.
Well, was there a favorite that you watched, even if you rewatched it? What's your favorite thing that you watched this month in horror?
I don't have a favorite. I just watch too many movies. Some of them not horror. I'm on a teen angst movie binge right now. So I watched Maze Runner and I watched Hunger Games. So
Yes, Katniss Everdeen.
get to see some origin movies of some of the actors that are going to be big later on, in Maze Runner, the jerk bully boy, he's going to play Adam in the next Guardians of the Galaxy, and to see how different and how he's come both physically because he's so much older now, and skill as an actor is really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Nikki, what about you?
So me and Austin totally didn't plan this, I swear, but we somehow both were making our way through the Hellraisers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I saw it somewhere, the new one or whatever, and I was like, you know what? I've only seen the first Hellraiser, way back in the day. And I want to see how many there are or whatever. And I'm a very sequential person. I'm if I'm starting it, I've got to watch them all. So I started on this Hellraiser journey a couple weeks ago, It started out amazing. I was like, oh man, like, why wasn't I watching these before? This is awesome. I love the Cenobites. They're really cool that like they don't get a lot of screen time, but when they do come out from hell or whatever, they're just awesome. And the Cenobites get like more and more creative as they go. So 1 and 2 were really good, like phenomenal. And then it takes a little bit of a slower decline in 3 and 4. And 4 was the one that Austin was just talking about in space, Hellraiser Bloodline. And then after that, it takes a sharp decline. And it's just, they're so hard to follow. Like half the time the person is dreaming or they're not. And you're like, is this really happening or is this in a dream and what's going on? So I think I made it to 8 or 9 and I have 2 more to watch and then the remake. But yeah, you could pretty much stop after 4. I don't think you really have to watch all the ones in the middle between the remake, and Pinhead really isn't in it that often. He has maybe a couple minutes of screen time. So it's just kind of a bummer, like how sharp of a decline it did take. But the first and second ones are phenomenal. But other than that, my favorite thing that I watched this month was a movie called Sick. It's on Peacock. And I was skeptical at first because, well, I was hyped and also skeptical. Hyped because it was written by Kevin Williamson, who wrote Scream. And Scream is my second favorite franchise behind Halloween. So I was hyped for it. But then with the whole, like, it's a movie about COVID, basically. So I was a little skeptical, like, oh, like, how annoying is this going to be? But, like, you had to know eventually that, like, a COVID movie was coming, you know? This is just something so huge that we dealt with for a few years that we're still dealing with. So you're just kind of waiting for it to pop up in the movies somewhere. And so at first I was watching it and I was kind of annoyed because it was a very much like, oh my God, you don't have your mask on, like that sort of thing. But also okay, so basically the premise of the whole thing is there's these 2 college students, they're friends, and they're going to quarantine for a couple weeks before they go home for like a break or whatever. And they go to the one girl's like dad's house out in the woods, because of course it's always out in the woods. And her like boyfriend or this guy that she's seeing shows up out of nowhere. And so the 3 of them are kind of drinking and hanging out. And like they have this dance party in the basement. And the one girl is like spraying Lysol all over the place while they're dancing. And I'm like, oh God, I hate this so much. But it also like kind of felt like a little bit meta. Like they were like making fun of it at the same time. So I was like, okay, I'm still in it. And then the killer shows up and it's a slasher. It had total Scream vibes, which I loved. I've been just waiting for a movie to come back like that. And it was really good. It surprised me. And without any spoilers, like the motive behind the killer, because you find out the motive behind the killer is really unique. Something you've never heard of before, just something really interesting. Like I was totally behind it. Definitely 10 out of 10. You got to watch it. It's on Peacock. It's a Peacock original movie written by Kevin Williamson, who wrote Scream. So 10 out of 10 recommend.
That's like one of the few streaming services I don't have.
No.
I can hook you up. You hook us up with Shudder. I'll hook you up with Peacock.
Yay! I'll watch it.
Oh, good. That's really what these streaming services are doing now. Like one person buys it and then shares it with the family and friends.
Yes.
I love when Netflix for a while was trying to crack down on the friends sharing and they made it family. And I was like, I pick my family.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm really excited that Amazon Prime usually makes you buy certain things, and Smile was up on Amazon Prime, or still is up on Amazon Prime. But they had 2 options of doing the 7-day free trial of Paramount Plus or MGM Plus. So I was able to see Smile, and I really liked it, as well as the Pale Blue Eyes on Netflix.
Ooh, yeah, I watched that. Is that a horror? That's not a horror movie.
I'm counting it as horror because, like, there were murders, and Edgar Allan Poe was one of the main characters, and I consider him like the king of horror.
Mm-hmm.
Or
well, the character, not. Yeah,
that's true.
Did Christian Bale? Did Christian Bale play Edgar Allan Poe?
No, he played the detective. Poe was like his confidant for a little bit.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool. It was definitely a slow burn, so I'm sure Austin, a lot of people will be like, dude, that's not horror. But I'm counting it.
but let me double check the movie. That's not how you spell. IMDb. So the I'm gonna say kid for Pale Blue Eyes. Because he's a kid. The one that played Edgar Allan Poe in Pale Blue Eyes is Harry Melling. If you understand that, he played Dudley Dursley in Harry Potter.
I forgot we did look that up. Good old Dudley.
Dudley. I was like, oh my gosh, he's lost a ton of weight. He doesn't look like a freaking dope. He's come a long way. Good for him.
Good on him, man.
Something about that magic in the movies.
Because what else was he in that I was like, what? I don't remember.
I think he was in something else, or I didn't recognize him either.
Oh yeah, Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
Yeah, he played the guy that got married to the girl, whatever her name is, for a small amount of time.
Yeah, Anya Taylor. Wasn't that Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yeah.
Love her.
Love her.
Love what she's doing.
Love her.
So you guys think that one's worth a watch?
Yeah, it's good. It's entertaining. For detective aspect, it's interesting.
Apparently not the horror aspect.
Not the horror at all.
More of like a thriller.
There's no gore. There's no slash. There's a little of occultism, which was interesting.
Oh, okay.
Occultism falls in horror.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But they didn't do any sacrifices or anything, so...
I'm so sorry. Austin needs to see good sacrifices. Sometimes.
Which reminds me of an autopsy that we saw today.
You saw an autopsy today?
Well, just photos from a 2015 case.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't see you leave.
No, I didn't go to an autopsy day. No, it was an old one. It looked very ritualistic, but it wasn't at all. It was just gruesome.
Huh.
I would prefer if ritualism never makes its way to here, personally.
What? What do you mean here? Colorado Springs?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm already upset with the numbers that we have sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the occultism was back up in Denver. I think one of the latest ones was like 2012, so not that long ago.
Well, and just figured we're trying this out for the first time. So right now we're just going to run through each streaming platform and kind of talk about the fun things that we're finding. If y'all don't like it, totally fine. We can adjust it. We're just trying things out. So we kind of touched on Netflix a little bit with the Pale Blue Eyes, but is there anything else on Netflix that we're watching?
I watch a lot of movies, and so a lot of it just melds together. I literally don't remember stuff. Because I'm a cinephile. I watch a lot of movies.
And so we love cinephiles on this channel, so
Love them.
Let's see. I watched a bunch of what was it? It was the Oh, the Witcher prequel. That's what I watched.
Oh, I think that was a good one. I liked it.
Yeah. It was super short. It was only like 4 or 5 episodes. But I liked it. Introduced how things got established for the world of The Witcher, which I never played the video games.
I didn't either. I'm not a video gamer though, so I played no video games.
I play video games. Well, not
Did
nearly as much as I
everyone-
used to.
Did everyone finish Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch the ASAFP.
I'm the
Same.
only one. Yeah.
You haven't?
No, I only made it through like 3. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one in the world. Like, I loved it, but at the same time, it felt like just like too kiddish for me. I don't know. Unpopular opinion, I'm sure. I liked it. I love Jenna Ortega 100%, but it was just kind of like, oh, this is okay. Getting like Sabrina the Teenage Witch vibes. Like, this is just like a little too kiddish for me. You know what I mean?
No, I can see
So
that.
I still gotta finish that on Netflix.
I loved it. I'll be interested to see if they do a second season though, because I think Amazon Prime picked up their studio.
Oh, dang.
Interesting.
I'm sure they will. Like, people loved it. People were crazy about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was very, like, people loved it or hated it because, like, all the old people were like, it's not like the original. No, that's the point.
Oh,
the point is that it's the original story and comic, not the original TV show movie. It's different because it went to the actual original stuff. So I thought that was good.
Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were being so mean about the casting of Gomez. I'm like, bro, look at the comic. That's what he looks like.
Yeah. I thought,
People are just
and
so mean.
well, what's that guy's name? Guzman? Is it Guzman?
I can't think of his name right now.
Oops, that's not it. You know, we have the power of the internet in the palm of our
Right?
hand.
I know. Well, I hear your little typing, so I'm like, okay. he's
Luis
got it.
Guzman.
Yeah, it is Guzman.
Yeah.
Because I love him. Sorry, I'm going to age myself a little. Loved him in Waiting.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I love
Funny.
it.
Yo, it was
Loved
wild
Waiting.
in that movie. Yeah.
So good. That's such a great movie. It's got Guzman. It's got Dane Cook. It's got
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, Justin Long, Anna Faris. Like, it's a huge, glorious cast.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that is a good movie, dude. I forgot. he was
Don't
in-
watch the sequel. The sequel sucked.
Oh, boom.
Yeah, I heard that. But I'm really excited that Ash versus the Evil Dead is on Netflix. Have you guys watched that?
I have not.
It's
I
fun.
might too.
Like, I love Army of Darkness, Evil Dead. I love Bruce Campbell as an actor. As a person, I met him in what con was that?
No.
I don't remember.
I'm not ready for this.
No.
But he
Give us
was
the deeds.
like, he didn't care about the audience or anything like that. He was like, he's got a set schedule he had to get to. He was slated for an hour and a half, like, panel discussion. And he did like 45 minutes of like an impromptu, like show, like a variety act sort of thing going on. And it was only 45 minutes. And then he just bounced.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, we didn't get to ask any questions or do anything. So it was really disappointing.
That's
I
such
want to say it was Silicon Valley Comic Con or Silicon, as it's called now.
Okay.
Back, I don't even remember the year, when I was still living in California. But as an actor, he's great. Love his stuff.
It's one of those you never meet your heroes type business.
Yeah.
Well, what horror did you all watch on Hulu?
I have issues with my Hulu. It gets interrupted all the time. And then I still have the commercials. So it'll get interrupted and I'll have to wait a couple minutes before it'll pick back up. then it'll play fine for like 5 minutes and then interrupt again, and then it's a commercial. And so
Trash.
I try not to watch too much on Hulu just because I don't want to deal with all that.
I totally forgot. I did watch something on Hulu called Fresh. Did you guys see
Yes.
this?
Oh
It
my god, I
was
love Fresh.
so good. I was late to the party on it. I'm like doing a lot of catch up. I'm doing a lot of catch up on a lot of streaming. But Fresh, it has, I cannot think of the actor's name, but he's the Winter Soldier in Captain America.
Oh my gosh.
For our Marvel people out there, Bucky the Winter Soldier. It is so good. I don't know how to really
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah. Yes. Austin,
I should know this.
I feel like you would really like it. It was really good.
It was
like,
so good.
It's like, without any spoilers, like, he's so charming and all this, and then it takes this turn and you're like, what? I love a twist. A twist is my favorite. Just something you're not expecting and you're like, what did I just see? What? It takes this twist. And then there's, no, that'll give a spoiler. Never mind. I'm not going to say that, but just go see it. It's really good. Great acting, like good twist, good kind of storyline and everything. That's on Hulu. I think it's a Hulu original, so it's probably only on Hulu.
Yeah, it's probably going to stay there for a while too because it does really well.
Yep. Yeah, and like, I watched the trailer. I don't really like watching trailers, to be honest, because I feel like it gives too much away. But this one kind of had me thrown because I watched the trailer and it made it look like, I was like, is this zombie? Is this vampire? Is it like, what is this? I had no idea like what to expect. And then once it started to unfold, I was like, oh man, yes, it was really good.
I'm so impressed by it. I Bloody Valentine, the original's on Hulu, so that was awesome to watch.
Yes.
You guys should watch it before February comes around because I'll probably pull it down.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hate how they do that. And then there's a ton of Stephen King movies coming back, and I think it's because of his new book, Fairy Tale, was released this year, or late last year.
Cool.
And so a lot of his movies are coming back.
You know we love our Stephen King.
He's the king for a reason.
I'm reading Tommy Knockers right now.
What do you think of it so far?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. It's been kind of boring. I was listening to it on audiobook. So I just took a trip to New Mexico, like a little road trip, and I went to Roswell. Big Alien fan. And I was like, oh, you know what? I want to find like a kind of alien-esque, science fiction-y book. Let me see if Stephen King has any, because he's my favorite, of course. And I found Tommy Knockers, and I've figured I like to do kind of a mixture between, I'm weird. I like to do a mixture between book, like physical reading, and audiobook. So I ordered the book, and in the meantime, I'm like, oh, I'll listen to the audiobook. And I just felt like, I don't know, I found it a little boring at first. I don't think I've really gotten into like the action yet, or anything alien or anything science fiction. So I'm just trying to get through the beginning of it first. But I was looking it up, and I guess Stephen King himself, like, went back and was like, I really don't like this book. So I'm like, oh, great. I choose a great one of his,
So
But that's my reading for the month, reading Tommy Knockers.
I cannot do audiobooks. I need
really?
like that hard copy in front of me, or I need to watch a movie. Like if the book is really good, they'll make a movie out of it. I'll watch the movie.
That's true.
My mind will wander.
But I also like podcasts, so.
Yeah.
No, can't do that. Just as bad. Like
You can't do podcasts and you're on one.
I know, right?
It's the hyperbole of epitome.
Whatever that means, sure.
It's a hyperbole. Hyperbole, that's the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I'm done with him.
It's like reset for tomorrow.
Right. But yeah, hopefully that one gets better. But so far, been kind of like a little dry. I'm like, okay. pick up, let's go. Where's the action?
I need the slash.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, I didn't watch anything on Shudder this month. Nikki, I know you're constantly on Shudder. Did you
I'm
see
like,
anything?
Courtney is gonna look. I use Courtney's Shutter, of course, and I'm like, Courtney is gonna look at this and be like, "What in the hell is this broad doing?" But I've been into. There's a show on there called Eli Roth's History of Horror,
Oh, what do you think
and
of that?
I made my way through almost all of them in this past month. So he'll he pretty much will go through like a subgenre of horror in each episode, like monsters, vampires. He had slashers part 1 and 2, and he'll sit down with a couple guests, like some directors, producers. He had Rob Zombie on there, and they'll just talk about the movies or whatever. And I thought that was awesome. I kind of liked it as kind of a, you always have to have like a background show when you're like messing on your phone or doing other things. That was a good background show for me. I liked that a lot.
Okay.
Did you watch anything on Shudder, Austin?
No, just My Bullied Valentine.
Oh, is that on there as well?
Yes.
Perfect. Which one, the remake or the original? Or both?
You know what? Flip a coin. Find out.
Wow, thanks for the info, bro. Like, what?
You're welcome. I don't keep track of this. I think the original.
We'll have to get you like a notebook so you can just like write down real quickly.
Instead of all my post-it notes?
Yeah.
Just
Your
on my
notebook
right,
through post-it notes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 sets of post-it notes just on my right now. I got a blue one, and a green one, orange, a red one. Post-it notes all over the place.
Did you watch anything on Shudder, Courtney?
I didn't. Shudder's interface bothers me sometimes. So usually I have to know what I want to watch. I don't like using Shudder to browse.
Yeah. It's
It's
annoying
just one
when
of
you
those.
turn it on, it's like already playing something. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, and it's really hard to find something that you started watching. I just have to get used to the interface again.
Yeah, that's true.
HBO Max. Do we have any HBO Max watchers?
Oh, yeah, I got HBO Max. I love my Batman. So that's where I get all my Batman stuff.
There's a lot of Batman stuff on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah. That's because HBO is owned by Time Warner, who also owns DC. So,
Makes sense.
all the stuff. But horror-wise, no, I haven't seen anything.
They have
That's
the
where
menu.
That's where I watched all the Hellraisers.
Oh, wait, the menu is a horror?
Oh my god, I forgot. Yes, thank
I
you for
just see an
that.
ad all the time. I don't even know what the story's about.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I loved it.
I
Some
forgot
people are-
that Courtney recommended it and I saw it popped up on HBO Max, so I watched it. So good, dude.
I thought it was amazing. I know some people are getting a little too into the, I guess, a dissection, if you will, of the movie. But I loved it. I thought it was epic.
Yeah. Just like kept you on the edge, like one of those ones where you like are like, come on, people, escape, come on, and you're like, are they going to? Like, are they going to get out? You know, like you're cheering for them. Won't
Yeah,
say whether they do or not, but you're like on the edge. You know what I mean?
Definitely on the edge. And like I kind of mentioned in Halloween, I used to be a server and a bartender. So there's also a little bit of just like, oh my God, nostalgia and vindication.
Yeah.
The Vindicator.
Yeah, you got to see that one often.
You have to see it because I want to talk about it.
All right, I'll watch it.
Yes.
I have
Amazon
my
Prime,
list, so-
friends?
Yeah, I got Prime. Man, I got to start writing all this stuff down. What I'm watching on what? Man, making it work.
Yeah, come
Oh
on,
my
man.
God, I know.
Get
It was
your
like we
Post-its
planned
out.
this.
So, remember when we planned having a what you watched in January podcast?
Yeah, I remember some of them.
Oh, this is going to be
I don't
the
think I
angstiest
watched
first
anything
episode of
on
this.
It was great.
They got Smile.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
I really like that. I was bummed I couldn't see it in theaters.
Now, was that because it was released during pandemic ages?
No, we just ran out of movie theater money for the month, and it was out of theaters before it came back.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
Classic financial issues.
Go constantly.
It's nice lately that
it's called being an adult.
I hate it.
Adulting.
I just want to watch movies.
It's nice lately that if you don't have a movie that you're like dying to see in the theater, that you can wait for a little bit. Like it'll come out on HBO Max or Peacock like pretty quick.
I've been appreciating that.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen Black Panther yet. The new one.
I want to see that.
It's coming out next week on Disney. So.
Oh, nice.
I knew I wanted to see that
Yeah.
simply because I need to cry. I'm going to sob the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do that in front of strangers.
Right? The privacy
I need a tissue box by my side with my stuffed animal.
It's like, you know,
or cat. You have cats, so.
Both.
Cat ladies, yeah, what's up?
But they also have the new Candyman, which I super love, but I'm also such a Jordan Peele fanboy that...
Oh yeah, it's not Nope. Does that count?
Yeah, it counts. I consider Nope a horror.
Mm-hmm. That's on Peacock right now.
Good. Yeah.
On the Peacock.
Yep.
Well, last question before we let you all go. Has anyone checked out Screambox? It's supposed to be a new horror streaming service.
I have not.
I'd like to see their like library. See what kind of movies.
Yeah, seriously, we'll have to check that out. Well, Screambox, if you're listening, we're a horror podcast. All right, so little chaotic at first. What we watched. We'll have to get Austin more post-it notes. But yeah, if there's anything we skipped over or something, another streaming service that we skipped over that you'd like us to share what we're finding, we'll be back doing this in February.
Yeah.
All right, well, goodbye.